welcome into the round table. And today we're going to do another session of Good Idea, Bad Idea. Mr. Michael Vincent, Mr. Tony Mulvey. Well, all right. You're going to wait on that for just a second.
Oh, I thought you were asking. Oh, sorry.
Do you want to go first this time, by the way?
I just did. Bad idea.
Okay, fine. We'll go over here first time. So 5 ideas in the last week that have popped up that wanted to get your ideas of whether or not this may be good progressions or perhaps bad ideas overall. First one. Drone Deck is coming out, and this is a drone mailbox plus drone delivery service. Drone Deck is a drone mailbox where the drone will leave your package securely in this mailbox, seen at the bottom right portion of that picture, so no one will steal it off your front porch. But also, sensors in the device can detect threats like explosives or biohazards, automatically alerting both the user and emergency authorities. Good idea or bad idea? Would you get one? And this is going to be implemented, by the way, for the first time outside of Culver's in Lawrence, Indiana. I'll go with you first, Tony. What do you think? Good idea or bad idea?
I mean, the idea of having something secure is a good idea, right? I mean, mailbox, granted, your mailbox somebody going into it is against federal law, but there's issue. My concern here is what's it cost to the consumer, right? I mean, that if you want to implement this, like, I mean, mailboxes do cost money, but it's a one-time thing. Like, is this something that, hey, if it goes bad in a year, I've got to replace it, and now it's a few $100s and you're having to replace it every so often. Seems like it could get expensive, but I think the overall idea of having something secure where you're not going to have the porch pirates stealing your Amazon packages off the front porch, that's a good idea.
Gotcha. Mr. Vincent, do you like the explosive protection that this would give you?
No, where's the fun in that? It's half the fun of going to the mailbox, isn't it? That's why you have kids. Go get the mail. No, I think, obviously that's a good thing, right? And preventing people from stealing off your porch. I've never had it happen, but I had a neighbor it happened to, which is amazing or scary, actually. But yeah, preventing that makes complete sense. Is this the way to do it? I'm not a big believer. I love drones, and I think they have their application. These type of applications, I don't see it. And my HOA is not going to let me put an additional thing out there by the street.
Okay.
So good intentions. I don't like the application. I'm not a huge believer in drones for this type of application.
First application of this is going to be outside of Culver's in Lawrence, Indiana, which, if you're familiar with Culver's, home of the Butterburger.
Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Wow.
Number 2, Trucker Hat has been a milestone in the trucking industry and community, enjoying some time on the high fashion lines as well in recent years.
Yeah.
It is an icon of the industry, yet you don't really find many people that are ambivalent to them. You either love them or you hate them. Good idea, bad idea, Mr. Vincent, overall, for daily wear?
Oh, great idea. I absolutely love them. Mm-hmm. I think they're awesome. They're good for days when you don't want to, do your hair, I guess. But no, they have their use. I love throwing on a baseball cap and taking off, and I love the trucker hat. It's classic. It's kind of a throwback, but I mean, it is what it is. That's what it's came from. It wasn't supposed to be high fashion as far as those things. I'm not really against those at all, but I'm not a super high fashion guy, as you can tell. Probably. You probably guessed that already. But I think they're great. I love them. I think it's a good idea. I like them.
Tony?
I think it's a great idea too. I mean, I think for me, it comes with uses, right? I'm a big golfer. I don't think on the golf course it's necessarily. I mean, I want something that's going to keep me cool. That lighter fabric takes away the sweat. Trucker hat really doesn't do it. But going out night on the town, it's a great fit. I mean, you can wear it with a lot of different things. I think it's a great idea.
Andy Roddick used it, of course, as a hat in his tennis career as well. Number 3, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi headed to Taiwan this week, which encouraged some saber rattling from China over the U.S.'s recognition of Taiwan as a nation state. China then conducted live-fire military exercises, the first time they did that since 1995-96, which offset the area and which is also a very populated shipping zone. Good idea to go to Taiwan, or bad idea because of not only the shipping disruption, but China's attitude about it? Mr. Mulvey.
I don't think it was the best idea, but I mean, I'm going to avoid trying to get political with this. Okay. But I mean, I think anytime it almost feels like you're egging on a disruption, and like that's what we don't need to happen right now, right? I mean, granted, you look at in the past when the U.S. economy slowed, getting in conflicts has been a good thing to kind of jumpstart the economy. But I think what you don't need right now is that conflict, especially with somebody like China that is so important to U.S. supply chains and the U.S. as a whole. So I think that it almost felt like egging the Chinese on, and that's what we probably don't need to do. Even though we are seeing that kind of nearshoring talk, I think that's a positive. But I mean, I think trying to egg them on is not necessarily the best idea.
Mr. Vincent.
Yeah, I'm never one for fomenting war or insurrection unless it's really needed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And one of those is if you're fearful of doing something because somebody else is going to retaliate and they're in the wrong, then I'm all for going and doing it. Yeah, this is kind of my nature. So I mean, going there because it's going to upset China, I could care less. I mean, we have to be able to do our thing and not deal with that type of stuff, and it's just going to encourage them to be even more. What I disagree with the whole thing is that the inconsistency from the administration as to was this a White House condoned trip or not is the thing. The lack of consistency or everybody on the same page is what makes us look like a bunch of buffoons in my opinion. Good to go and disrupt at this particular moment? No, I think it could have been done a better way. Good to not do it because you're scared of China? Hell no. I think that's bad, and the way it was handled, absolutely awful.
There's lots of nuance to this.
Yeah, there absolutely is. There absolutely is.
All right, number 4, Chevron has teamed up with Lone Star State researchers on a, quote, diesel nut, unquote, project. Story this broke this morning. The partnership is a 5-year, multi-million-dollar collaboration between Chevron and researchers at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service, focusing on creating a genetically engineered breed of low-input peanut lines that can produce higher yields of oil for use in renewable biodiesel. The fuel produced could be viable for anything from passenger cars to tractor trailers to airplanes, trains, and more. Mr. Vincent, are you buying peanut gas?
Only if it's non-GMO. That's it. That's all I got.
Gonna get very bad cholesterol there too.
Yeah, exactly. If it's non-GMO, I'm good. If it's cheaper and it actually works and it's sustainable as far as it's a better thing to do. It's not going to pollute the atmosphere, and it's there's unintended consequences sometimes. I mean, you put the ethanol in the gas, not exactly the best thing to do, and it reduces the energy density in the gas actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things. I'm not opposed to it. I think looking into alternatives wherever they may be is great. I mean, they make red lipstick out of bugs, dude. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, I just learned that from Christian today. So, but now they're going to make diesel out of peanuts. That's cool. I mean, yeah, I don't know enough about it to say I hate it. I like the ideas of different things because they come out of crazy places, man. They tried to melt chocolate in a cookie and they made a chocolate chip too. So.
No? Tony?
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea for alternatives is a great idea, right? And I think investing in the research is the smart way to do it instead of just like going and seeing if it is, like you said, sustainable, because they've tried things like this before that it turns out they weren't worth the investment that they put in. So I think making the investment to do the research to learn if this is going to be sustainable in the long run, right? I mean, there's this shift, right, that we're seeing talking about electrification, just not of just commercial vehicles, but also really on the consumer side too. Is this a way to not slow down electrification, but also like offer a second
alternative?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's going to be the key as we move forward is these alternative fuel sources, not just switching solely to electric. So
I agree. I mean, I agree 100% what you're saying. Just to put that point out there, we can't just say electrification is the only way to go. It may not be the right way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's those. I mean, John Kingston will tell you that's not what the right direction, and he's a pretty smart guy. Yeah. So yeah, agree with you.
All right, so let's move on to number 5, and I know you guys have talked about this on What the Truck a little bit there as well. Paying your drink bill should be quite elementary until you notice you get a supply chain surcharge.
Yeah, right.
This is something obviously we're seeing a lot more of secretly, I guess, through markups and inflation, but never right in your face on the bill or receipt. Good idea or bad idea to throw this out, Mr. Mulvey?
I'm going to say bad idea because, I mean, like you said, it should be elementary. Just put it into the drink itself, right? If I see $1 more for my drink, I probably don't think about it. If I see a 3% charge extra onto that surcharge, right? That's where I'm like, what is this for? So I think the way it got put onto the bill is probably my bigger issue as opposed to the actual like raising prices, right? Prices are rising across the board. Just put it into the actual drink. I think that's I don't know why you would want to separate it out as this thing, because once people get used to paying it, are you going to take it away? Right. I mean, probably not. So that's where I think having it just solely as this supply chain surcharge isn't a good idea. Just add it to the price of the drink.
All right, Mr. Fitz.
I'm with Tony. I'll lay down $7.10 for a mocktail.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, all night long.
Yeah.
I bet you will.
And not even notice it as long as you don't break it out. And I agree with you. I don't know that it's needed. I don't know if it's gouging. I don't know what that is. I'm sure their costs have gone up just like everybody else, but put it in the prices that are out there, right? And if you're trying to tell me that it's because you don't want to keep reprinting your menus, well, who's got paper menus anymore?
Yeah.
When's the last time you walked into a place and had paper menus? You just scan them, right? I mean, you can change that very, very easily. So, put it into prices, man. It's already in the prices you're buying from the other places, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your fuel surcharge, whatever it is. Don't put a fuel surcharge or supply chain surcharge on my mocktail.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen at grocery stores or your Walmarts of the world. They just change the price on the tag, and then guess what? It brings up in their computer. Why is this any different?
A bunch of frat dudes at 12:30 at night cashing out and seeing $40 for a surcharge is not going to be a pretty scene.
Yeah.
Would you like to see it a different way? Perhaps as you walk into the restaurant, you say, "Hey, you're going to get a C3%," and even though it's not going to be on your bill.
I mean, again, I think you just...
We're going to raise prices anyway.
Yeah, I think you just raise prices.
I think you just put it into prices.
Yeah,
I don't like it I mean, nobody likes it. Nobody wants to have to pay more money, but I think there's better ways to do it. I think you put it into prices. Hey, prices are up, dude.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Good Idea, Bad Idea here for this roundtable. We'll take a short break, come back and wrap up the rest of our show. Stay tuned.